Hi, this is BB. It's about 3 a.m., just between 2:30 and 3 a.m. on just the 8th, I believe, um, in the morning, or a.m. in the morning. So, as you can hear in the background, I have a chair, a white chair with a heater slash fan, a little tiny thing, and an air purifier, a small one as well. So I went to sleep last night. I remember I locked all my windows. I finally actually locked all my windows because I decided to sleep on the couch or the sofa, as you may call it. So I locked all the windows. I actually uh, closed them and I flipped the two things, like the two levers to lock them. So uh, they were locked as far as I know. And I know I went to sleep with the fan on, not the heater part, but the fan on, because I remember the cooling on my legs. So I woke up maybe like an hour and a half later, which I usually do. First of all, there's a smell of something burning, like rubber burning in my nose. Now, I don't know how long that's been there. And since I've been up like an hour now and I'm smelling vinegar, very, very strong. It's like, and it's tying off like my throat. It's tying off my throat. I can feel almost like, like the sensation of like a swelling, like something pressing against the tissues. Like it can feel it like you're having locked jaw almost, and it's like something catching in your throat as well, which changes the voice. Now, like I said before, I sing a lot, and I find that every time I start singing, my voice is it's like a damaging to my voice. Now, I'll tell you something, as I'm on the track of the voice, is I had my aunt in my birth country. I gave her power of attorney, and she did go to my father's property. And as I said, I can't find anything. I don't know what happened to my father's belongings, my mother's belongings, and which would be my belongings now. So, and my grandma as well. She did go to my father's property, and the person who bought the house, my father had a business, a shop, with a house attached to it. And the woman was hearing my voice because my aunt had me on Messenger at the time, and she said she recognized the voice. She thought she recognized the voice. So I'm not sure. I know the Mexican people were living next door to me, so I don't know if the woman and her boyfriend solicited these people and had them work a deal with them, and they sent whatever they had there. I'm not sure what happened. Like I said, my dad had money in the bank. He was a businessman. He had money in the bank. We had shares that we had bought into the bank itself. I can't find any of this. And after about 30 years, those shares would be, I'm thinking, a pretty penny in American dollars. I can't find any of these things. So I don't know if that voice, the changing of the voice, has anything to do with this, or if it's just because of the singing. Maybe some of these songs. I have a habit of making shit up, and they sound pretty good. I mean, a little bit of tweaking here or there, and they can actually mean something. So I don't know if it's both or just one of them. But anyway, with these people, I have to mention this because I don't know what's the deal here. But they're just like trying to get me like in every possible way. I don't know what the jealousy level is or why it's there. I'm a human being. They've done a lot to me, and maybe in doing these things, it's like you're squeezing someone in one way, and the universe, which is my heavenly Father's, just putting it back in their face. Well, this is what's coming out on the other side. Like the ugly duckling being ostracized and then turns into the beautiful swan. And that causes them to hate me even more. I don't know. I just don't get this level of animosity. There has to be a reason for it. But anyway, I went to sleep and the fan was on. I woke up, the fan was off, like literally turned off. It's not digital, it's manual. So somebody would have literally had to turn it off. And the place was smelling, first of all, something like rubber burning. Then it started smelling like vinegar. So I had to open the window a crack, and it's burning my chest all over here. Like it's just my upper chest is almost like it's just blazing, burning. I don't have much of a headache. But what I've noticed is once this happens is like if I'm talking, if I'm saying something or having a thought out loud, because I do bargain with these people to leave me alone. So I would start on a train of thought out loud, and I would hear a click somewhere, and then I can't remember what it is. So what they're doing is, one of the things to note is if you're smelling odd smells or weird smells around your home, is to get you to forget what you're saying. It's almost like wanting your train of thought while in an altered state to come up with something that is important, something that they can use, some alternative way of looking at things, something that's actually beneficial, or they can monetize, or they can get some kind of acknowledgement, something that they can use, whether it's the flimsiest thing or something profound. And then you just belt it out, and you can't remember it like 30 seconds later because you're all, high, or whatever is going on with you. Or just getting you, for me, I don't understand what high means, but I do know that I get dizzy and I hear these clicks. I get dizzy, and sometimes I can't remember, like, the more excited I get about what I'm saying, sometimes I lose a train of thought. I don't use drugs. I abhor the use of drugs, and I believe that drug dealers should be dealt with more severely. The punishments should be harsher. That's just me. That's my opinion, and I'm entitled to it. So those of you who think that that's harsh, then let me apologize in advance. That's my opinion, and I will stand by it. I don't do drugs. I don't condone drugs. I don't condone the use of drugs. I simply don't see the necessity. I simply don't see recreational or not. I just don't get it. I can maybe understand if you're with friends, or you're with your partner, or you just like maybe a joint or so occasionally, but anything that's going to drastically mess your head up to the point where you can't remember shit, it's a no-no. A no-no. So one of the things I'm worried about with this is like, if I die, what I believe will happen, because I find that at the back of my neck, there's like bumps all over, like the arteries are hard. You can feel them. There's so much pain at the back of my neck, right? And it just feels and shooting pains in my head. Now, prior to 2020, this wasn't there. I used to have like a headache that was barely there. I used to consume a lot of ibuprofen. And this was after that Hispanic woman that I keep referring to, after she and her boyfriend moved in 2017, next door to me. I used to live a lot on ibuprofen. It's almost like having a headache all day long that was barely there. I never associated it with anything sinister. I just thought, like, I'm just having a fucking headache. But I used to consume a lot of ibuprofen because it was like having that headache that was barely there. And it's like 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning, I'd wake up with a throbbing headache that I would have to get up and sit up because I can't, it's like this tension. It was just something so weird. And then I would have to get up and sit up, basically, because laying down was too painful. I also did notice that some weird stuff was happening. Like, I would be praying in my sleep. I would be having weird sensations. I don't know. A lot of stuff was happening. But I didn't associate it with anything. Now I'm looking back on almost everything that happened. But again, this is what happened here. So I don't know how they're coming in. If they're using kids to do this, young people, they would have to. because the ceiling that I have is aluminum zinc, so they would have to like pull part of it up, and you know, there would have to be like a at least space that's enough for them to fit in between my ceiling and the person above me, their floor, for a body to fit there and maneuver to get down into my apartment. I'm not sure because the windows are locked, so I don't know how they would come in here, and that's turned off. The fan was turned off, so I'm not sure. What I think the fan was turned off for is whatever I was smelling, because the fan is on level with the sofa, because I'm laying on the sofa and the fan is on a chair. So the fan was kind of blowing it away and diluting whatever I was smelling, whatever I was absorbing. So I think that was part of the reason why they turned it off. Which is dangerous, because to them it's just a thing they do. To me, it's taking my security away. It's breaking and entering and putting my life in danger. To them, it's just what they do. They don't really care. It's like we're best friends now. We're not. They're my abusers. They're my tormentors. We're not best friends. I don't think they get that. So I don't understand that. But anyway, look out for smells that are around you and things that they will do. Look in your crawl spaces. I would advise you, if you live in your home, invest in some small cameras. Put it in like your basement, put one in your attic, crawl spaces, and have one of those monitors set up. I mean, I know these things cost money, but in the long run, if you feel like weird shit is happening, it would be a wise investment, especially if you have kids in your home. So just make sure you do that. Not because I'm telling you to watch the kids. I'm telling you this is how you protect your family. Because I don't, if you're smelling stuff that's weird, or they're smelling stuff, or they're hearing stuff, that's what I would do. Start there. Anyway, just wanted to share that with you, and I'm hoping that would you stay positive and let's tip the scale, or tip the balance into justice. Let's not give them the power. Let's take the power back and put it in justice's hand, or justice's hands. And the only way to do this is to follow their lead, what they're trying to do. They're trying to tip the balance into where they get what they want. What they want involves hurting us. That's not going to fly for me. It shouldn't work for you either. We have to learn how to tip the balance using whatever model they're using as an example. Energetically tip the balance to bring things back to where people are starting to wake up from this deep state, as they call it. And we have to do it now.